Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us. Welcome, everyone, to yet another wonderful episode of our nonsense. We got a full house here today. Get it? Because poker. I am here with all my lovely friends. We've got Blaze.
What does poker have to do with this?
Full house?
What?
5 people, a pair, and 3 of a kind.
Dude, I don't know poker rules. I've never played.
Anyway, we have Blaze.
What's up?
We've got Menace.
Hello.
I'm just trying to get through it. I'm here with Trin.
Hello.
And I'm here with Subset. I included you this time because last time we did this 30 seconds ago, I forgot you were not here.
Hey, yo.
The judgment is real. This week, I'm really excited to discuss the Amazing Digital Circus's latest episode with episode 6. As last time when I discussed episode 5, it was a really chill vibe, and I really wanted more of that, and I kind of got what I wanted, but this episode gives the characters guns. It's actually a really cool way to both pair off the characters so that way we could have more one-on-one time, but it also just gives a wacky excuse to have some fun, eh? But what I really appreciated about this episode is the character interactions, specifically between Kinger and Ragatha and Pomni and Jax, with Kinger, just like he did with Pomni, being a very good support for Ragatha at a certain point in the episode. I won't give too much away for spoilers, so you go out of your way to watch it, but the main thing I want to discuss is the overarching theme of Pomni and Jax through the episode. When they initially get paired off, they are talking to one another, and eventually Jax asks Pomni why she takes everything so seriously. And this eventually leads to Pomni kind of giving into the more wackier side of the circus itself, and I actually really liked this, but I did feel like Pomni was just trying to, relate with Jax and go out of her way to do something that he would like. And I really liked their dynamic through the episode, but it was the conflict they came into at the end of the episode which was really interesting because, and this will be a spoiler warning for what happens in the episode, Pomni addresses the facts that Jax is just an asshole. He's just kind of a bad person, and he treats everybody like crap. And she even goes as far as to say that Jax is the reason why everybody else abstracted. And this obviously set him off and made the rest of the episode pretty awkward. And even to the point where it seemed like Jax was going to go off the rails there. But the ending of the episode was obviously the favorite character awards, which I thought was a pretty fun way to cap off the episode, especially with all the more serious tones throughout the episode, because literally this whole episode, I felt my heart in my stomach, and I felt so anxious during the moments where there was no music. It was just a long pause with 2 characters, and it is what I've been hoping for this show since I started watching it. To have these in-depth conversations about connection and value and valuing yourself, valuing others, and committing yourself to a community or being a part of something bigger than yourself. It's a really beautiful story that Gooseworks is working through, and at least my hope is that we'll see another 6 episodes, but it does feel like we are reaching kind of not necessarily a climax, but we're getting to a big moment in the show because it feels like the quality is getting better, the episodes are getting longer, and it just seems like it has been building up. We get threads for characters that are able to build on in the next couple episodes, and I feel like there's going to be a big conflict between Ragatha and Jax, but I just hope Pomni and Ragatha can talk amongst themselves before Jax. Well, I won't give that away, but it just feels like the more people connect one another within the circus, the more they stay sane. And it feels like Jax, being the only one who actively separates himself from group activity and goes alone and likes being alone, I really am worried for Jax going forward, and he may be the next one to abstract. But this was definitely a more serious tone episode with obviously some good comedy and good bits spread throughout. I really did appreciate all the work that went into this episode. I was super excited to get into it. And it was just a really pleasant time to watch all these characters talk amongst themselves and also just have some wacky gun violence. Now, I do want to add that the best part of this episode from a character writing perspective was the dynamics of humanity between all the characters. Between Kinger and Ragatha being able to have a really nice and heartfelt moment about taking care of yourself and maintaining your humanity. Zubul and Gangle were able to strengthen their bond as a duo. And Pomni and Jax had a really interesting conversation about archetypes, and to me, that just feels like they're leaning more into abandoning their humanity. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss about the Amazing Digital Circus episode 6. Everybody just gets guns. It's kind of awesome. But the one thing I do want to mention, and my personal favorite moment of the episode, is when Gangle got her hands on a Tommy gun. I love the Tommy gun. It's literally my favorite gun in all of history and in fictionalized first-person shooter games. And I'm really happy that it got an inclusion in this episode. Yeah, again, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss regarding this episode, but at this point I think it's time for me to send it back to me and my friends as we continue our discussion on K-pop Demon Hunters. But okay, to get back on to the K-pop Demon Hunters, because there's one question I really want to ask, because I'm really curious about all of your different perspectives on it. Because we have 9 movies coming, what if you were to choose a time period and a musical adaptation to take on in a movie, what would it be?
Well, obviously, at least for me, I think the next movie specifically should be about Celine, Rumi's mom, and whoever this other third one was, and see essentially all that.
So like 90s type.
Yeah, well, not even for the time period specifically. I think that story would be the second most interesting compared to what we got in the first movie. Knowing what happened, like knowing what happened with Rumi's mom,
getting that prequel story, yeah.
Figuring out why Celine is so coveted in her ways of like conceal, don't feel, don't let it show. Yes, that was a Frozen reference. I regret nothing.
What about you, Blaze? What time period would you choose?
I don't know. I think it'd probably be interesting to see, like, maybe during, like, one of the World War periods. So, like, it was probably very hard to get people interested in music and whatnot when it was such a depressing era.
That's actually a really
Especially
good
seeing
shout.
that during that time, during the World War for Koreans was really rough.
Yeah, that's like a sketchy one, though, to kind of do over there just because of some things that happened. So
yeah,
that
but if
one's
they
like
had
a
the
real
balls to
rough
do
one.
it, I think it would actually go hard.
It would, but there's a lot of things, especially when
They'd
you're
have to
talking
do it
about one of the
carefully.
main countries that did most of those atrocities.
Yeah, there's a nice little name for that event that happened that we're not gonna say because it's got a word that people don't like in it. So
With that
one
said,
was
we're gonna move on from that because
So
that is
what
a
time
very,
period
very
would you
touchy
like,
subject.
Gemini?
what?
What time period would you like it to be set in, Gemini?
You're asking the person who hasn't even seen the movie yet.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know.
There's not really
I
a
was just thinking
time
if he's
frame
an
I would like to
artsy
see it as. I would like to see what happens if the group, one of them decides to flip teams.
Ooh,
I guess if I were to
drama.
pick one, probably as in, and this is again from screenshots I've seen, I like, and I do agree with Blaze in the sense of like that time period set is a lot of upheaval and a lot of shit happens, but I kind of like the idea of the really historical, like ancient Korea. Maybe not like so ancient, but
So,
you know
like-
what I mean.
So like first tantrics almost.
Kind of like why, like what all went down for it to
Yeah, how did they became the hunters? How they
True,
figure out
like-
about the hunt move?
yeah, the true prequel of it.
Yeah.
I would like to see that too. That was cute. That was my curiosity when I first saw the first members pop up as they were retelling the history of them.
Oh, but then they'd
I would
have
like to see them pop up again and maybe figure out how they became to be.
Oh, but then they'd
Mhm.
actually have to design a character design for the Demon King instead of just having him be a sentient flame.
They already have a design.
What?
I've told you this before.
I thought I could have
He-
sworn he was
he is
just a
not-
big fire.
I I've told you this two times off camera. He looks like almost like what you would think of when you hear the word Oni, and he's got a fire. His hair is fire. That fire just surrounds him. Think of like Fire Lord Ozai from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
All right, well, I'll cut that shit. I'm embarrassed now.
No, we're keeping it in.
I mean, I have the power ultimately.
It's my non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable. You'll hear from this from HR, dude.
What do you mean? I am HR.
And what's even more embarrassing, I forgot to mention that I was referring to a possible humanoid design for Giwa rather than just a design. But I mean, that's all I had for the movie. Like, I kind of would like to see like 60s, 70s. I more attack it from like a musical standpoint rather than a historical standpoint, because I would love to see a different vibe of music.
Well, you can say that, but it's going to be hard seeing that how much idols have an effect and how long the history is.
Yeah.
You're also not going to be able to, because of just how deep in Korean folklore this movie is.
Yeah.
Like,
you can do the musicals, but it's going to be very influenced by that. So
for people that haven't seen the movie yet, there are two little cute side characters. There's a derpy spirit tiger, and there's a little demon bird, and they are the best. Honestly, they're the second and third best characters in the movie, in my opinion. But those two are actually, like I said before, they're based off of a specific type of painting involving a tiger and a bird in Korean folklore. So just those two characters being in there are based off of folklore.
I want to see more from the cat and the bird.
I think
a lot of people did.
Thing that would be kind of interesting would be an in-depth lore dive, and this is coming from someone who's a lore buff of things, is if this phenomenon is only situated in Korea, or if there are other instances across the world. Like, are there individuals who have to keep up this fight, say, in, Africa, South America, Europe, Australia, even? Like, are there, like, other cultures? And again, this isn't to like discredit or anything to pull away from the Korean culture, because that is something I respect. The movie is the fact of how in-depth it is with true. Sorry, there's motorcycles going by.
Boo.
I don't know if it picks up on my mic, so.
Appreciate you.
Okay, anyway, I respect the fact that this movie is very in-depth to true Korean folklore and its culture. And again, this isn't to discredit that. It's just, me being someone who really likes learning about other countries and their cultures. I guess I would kind of like to see if there is, other parts of the world that have to, in the basic sense, fight the good fight, pretty much,
Yeah. It's a good thing that you bring that up, because a lot of people have been making a lot of fan art of other, like, cultures of how, and other time periods of said cultures of how would they look like for if they were demon hunters themselves, like Mexico, American, Native American, like etc. etc., and how they influence their weapons, their design, and everything around that.
I think that would be a really interesting thing, just to see, like, is this just located in Korea where this needs,
or is everybody fighting the good fight, holding back demons or evil spirits or whatnot, whatever?
Yeah, like in other parts of the world, as you said, like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my thing is I don't think they can do anything in the future, to be honest. At least, like, timeline wise of the movie, because
unless
end of the
Rumi
movie
has a kid,
the new Han Moon is fully sealed, and it's a completely different Han Moon. So how are the demons gonna know how to break this one?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Another boy band.
This is the first.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, is this spirit gate? That's what Subset said. Han Moon, base roughly translated to, correct?
Yeah, soul gate, something like that.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, is there only one soul gate in the whole world, and it's located in Korea, or is this just the one for the air for like that?
I just looked at the country,
because it's not representative as like an actual door. It's more of like a weave of thread that wraps around the world. And as much as I would like to see other cultures, I think it is specifically just in Korea, because multiple times when we see that they either almost seal the Han Moon, or, spoiler alert, end of the movie, they seal the Han Moon, but you see it wrap around the entire world from that one point. You don't see like other points like
Okay.
where other, because the power essentially channels through the Huntrix to the fans, and the fans power the Han Moon is how it works essentially. But I feel like it may just be Korea. They could do other like cultures and stuff. I do think that would be a very cool way, and I would love to see that. But at least from the visuals that they've shown so far, there's nothing to indicate that there's anybody but the Huntrix that have the power to seal the Han Moon.
Okay, I do have one
And again,
question.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I have a question. How, throughout the plot of the movie, how were they able to get through? Like the demon grunts that we see throughout the first part of like the movie.
Because the Han Moon hasn't been sealed, so there are like gaps in it where they can break through.
Okay, because that was always the question I had going through that movie. I'm
until the Han Moon is golden, at least from the beginning of the movie's perspective, until the Han Moon is golden, little trickles of demons can get through.
Okay,
it's like think of it's like a barrier, but it's not fully formed yet. Is the best way I can put it.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm apprehensive about live action remakes of anything animated.
Yeah, but I will say they at least have good baselines on who they can play, and at least the talent would still be there. That's my hope. But yeah, live actions are going to be a touch and go subject here.
I just hate live action remakes on animation because there's certain things that can be translated in animation that can't be translated in live action.
I don't know why they keep trying.
There
Lilo and
aren't
Stitch.
any like super over the top like power-esque things in this movie that they couldn't do in live action. There's nothing like over the top. Like there's nothing
look like a
One
green
Piece where
screen. It
someone's
looked like a
stretching
green
like
screen
rubber
room
or something like that.
Okay, but like you can do that more easily with CGI, yes. However, the thing that I know a lot of people really like about this is the over-the-top facial expressions. You cannot translate that in live action.
Yeah.
And I feel
without being like borderline like cartoony or a little uncanny valley there.
Yeah, like because that's where it's going to be the problem of like then they're going to have to heavily rely on computer animation, and when it's live action and you do that, it's like at that point, why the did you go through live action when you just could have been animated? What do you know? It was an animation. I hate it.
It's going to be another like Alita Battle Angel scenario.
Yes.
I actually do have a question for everybody here. Do you think this would have do you think this movie would have done as well if it was split up into, say, like a 6-part episode, like series, rather than a movie?
Nope.
No?
I don't think it would have. It would have been a lot of waiting that just wouldn't.
Yeah, there probably would have been a lot of padding because you would have had to get to 20 minutes for each episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to address one thing that is kind of a spoiler. In the end credits, I love that they gave a K-pop band twice the opportunity to both perform one of the songs of the movie, but also you get kind of a splicing. This is spoilers, by the way, for the end of the movie. You see the recording booths, you see the behind the scenes of the movie. That part I really appreciated as somebody who works in that kind of field.
I'm actually so glad you brought that up because I was going to bring it up twice if you didn't. It goes even deeper than that, Bobber. The Huntrix were modeled, or like twice came in and they like they weren't the models for the Huntrix, but they had artistic liberties because like Huntrix is supposed to be twice in that universe. Well,
Yeah,
not even.
like
Sorry,
a model
they're a different band
representation.
because twice is actually shown multiple times in the movie themselves. It's the actual band, like on not in person, but like when they're looking at the Billboard charts, they see that Huntrix just passed twice as number 1 in Korea or stuff like that, or they'll have like twice as platinum album on a wall in the background and stuff like that.
And I have to make the obligatory mention, regardless of how they did it, the YouTuber CG5 somehow tricked the entire internet into thinking that he sang Idol, and I will always respect that man for it.
The background lyrics themselves sound like his auto-tune voice.
Man, I can agree with you on that, but I still listen to them back to back, and I'm like, man, this sounds so...
But I never thought that he like sang the song,
I didn't either,
the actual part. I thought he did the background vocal.
When I first heard the song, when I was listening to the movie proper, when I was watching the movie proper, in the back of my mind, I was like, there's no way this man got in this movie. I thought. No, but behind the scenes footage with Twice and them doing that rendition of the song, I loved it. I hope we get more of that in the next couple movies. Like, I hope that's a consistent thing where we get to see behind the scenes, because I'm all about seeing the technical critical aspect of creating a movie.
I think as long as they keep up, if they are doing the Huntrix again as like those three, we will see twice again because they are so influential in the creation of Zoe, Rumi, and Mira.
Actually, another way they could go about it is have other K-pop bands be a part of the different movies, so that way you kind of can broaden the types of music you use, broaden the influences you get for like story or character writing.
Well, I have kind of a theory. What if instead of doing different cultures, it's different genres?
Ooh.
So like K-pop Demon Hunters 2 isn't K-pop Demon Hunters, it's like hip-hop Demon Hunters.
K-rock Demon Hunters?
Country Demon Hunters?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't even technically have to be Korean itself. Like,
no, I know, but I was going with the name scheming of like the movie series.
Well, that's why I said like instead of K-pop, like hip-hop Demon Hunters or something like that. Like,
no, but country Demon Hunters,
hard rock demon, punk rock Demon Hunters. That'd actually be badass.
And then just have baby metal be the singers.
No, obviously we need Scottish death metal Demon Hunters.
Rammstein Demon Hunters.
Do us, me.
Oh god, that'd actually be really cool because they'd be like Vikings. I'm sorry, but that'd be sweet.
Oh, and also, so that way I don't forget it, because there's an addendum that I specifically wrote down so that way I wouldn't forget it. A while back, I did a segment discussing the return of South Park with season 27 and its trailer. Now, the reason I bring that up now is because we just recently got the San Diego Comic-Con, and this is totally not a reason to give a link to go watch the episode proper that we talked about. But yeah, so anyways, totally not a self-plug, but Trey Parker and Matt Stone revealed that Trey Parker and Matt Stone revealed that the trailer was fake. They literally made it because the executives were like, we need something for the summer, so they just put something together. So I owe the internet an apology, and you know, they may obviously use some clips in episodes later on, but yeah, that initial trailer is completely fake.
I thought you were going in a completely different direction with that, and I got scared for a second.
No, it's okay.
Is that the one that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, like the episode.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna talk about the episode. Best episode.
We're not getting into God. No, that is a.
I love the episode, but we're not saying anything about it.
I just wanted to double check. It was the smear, right?
Yeah. Okay. No, the trailer that they released like way back a couple months ago, completely fabricated. Like every single clip was just something they created for the promotion of it, and they like I just found it funny to bring up because I'm like, I dedicated a whole segment talking about that and talking about me being excited seeing these episodes, and it turned out to be fake.
Wow, you got got.
Yeah, I got but the other addendum I want to add, just to finish up my thing. During the last recording session that we had together, Gemini, you called me out for doing the Call of Duty Zombies Easter eggs nonstop. And the reason I bring this up is because I finished the Chaos Zombies storylines in Black Ops 4, and the last map for Black Ops 6 comes out this week, so I will finally be rid of this franchise for at least a year, because Black Ops 6 won't have it, and I'll be free. God damn it.
7.
No, it's not gonna have it. They said it's not gonna be in it.
I won't get over.
I know, but I said that because you said Black Ops 6 twice.
Black Ops 7 won't have zombies.
Black Ops 7 is the one that is going to come out this upcoming year, and it will not have zombies.
Yeah, so much for no zombies for Black Ops 7, eh? Black Ops 6 is the one ending this week.
I remember I saw someone's reaction to that trailer, and it was so hilarious because she looked really hyped about it, because I guess it was pretty different, and then it just was like Black Ops, and she was so disappointed. And I remember her Twitch chat was just like, dude, are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, because they're supposed to have a 2-year cycle, right? Remember when they said a 2-year cycle between games? That was totally a thing.
How about they just stop?
No, they said they said a 2-year cycle, but they didn't even keep to that when they said it.
That's
what I think. What they really meant is they're still going to have yearly releases, but they're going to, I'm still under the impression
that they're going to have back-to-back developer-led Call of Duties to give the other developers 2 years off.
I believe that they're going to do with Black Ops 7 what they did with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. It's just going to be a slap-on DLC to add another story on top of it. They're
You're
just
actually
gonna
so
add
right.
more onto Black Ops 6.
Oh, you're
and
actually so
say
right.
It's another game.
Oh, that hurt my head. That hurt my head to to realize.
They're technically are doing 2-year cycles between the different Call of Duty.
I just want a break.
It's
I just want a break from
business
Call of Duty. I want one
jargon,
year
and
where we
it's
just
dumb.
don't have a Call of Duty come out. You know what I mean? That's all I want.
And have
Technically-
the Call of Duty
Technically,
fan
you can have that.
I just
Hell
don't have.
no.
I
Lose the-
just gotta
lose
not
the
play
dollar?
it.
The f- did we get here?
I have been saying this for the past year, or for the past couple years. The only way that gamers are going to have any sway in the game industry is if we just don't give these companies that are making half-baked shit and expecting everyone to buy it, if we just don't buy it, even if it's on Game Pass, don't play it, don't download it. If they don't have the numbers, they will change. Look at Overwatch, look at Halo Infinite, look at all these games that change their tune as soon as their player base tanked.
Nah, I hear that. I'm just tired of Call of Duty at this point. I just want a break.
I am too.
But
Why we've been playing Rivals.
oh,
How did we get
Marvel
here? I
Rivals
went
has been
Jacob.
great.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the
Well, I added a couple
That's the normal
addendums. We got
ramblings.
off topic, but just you know what? F- it. I want to throw this in. Since you brought up Marvel Rivals, Blaze, Marvel Token had a preview where we actually saw that this 4v4 is going to start as a 2v2, and you're going to gain allies and meter with grabs as you progress through the match. So we actually got more information about a game that we talked about a couple weeks ago. So I thought I'd add that context in just for the sake of it. Bada ba boopy.
It's weird.
It's weird, but when you see all 4 people fucking beat down in a combo like that stretches across like 20 hits.
I'm excited for this because it is actually something. It is a new spin on the 2D fighter genre. Well,
I'm just glad
I
that you
should
don't
just
start
say-
with 4 characters.
I should just say fighter genre at this point because everything's partial 3D now.
Right. But that's all I have for all my additive stuff, news tickets, pieces, whatever, little tidbits I could add at the end.
Oh, I got one future Robert, you're a bitch.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure that's everything we've got.
Future Bobby, you're a bitch.
I'm pretty sure that's everything we have to discuss.
Bobber,
when
you're
it
just a
comes to-
bitch.
Now, for this week, as somebody who is a dedicated Call of Duty fan, you'd think I'd be quite upset talking about Battlefield 6 and their latest beta, especially with the fact that it's being made by EA. But at least for me, I had a really fun time with Battlefield 6, and I'm kind of happy that I got to play something a little bit different after the half decade to full decade of basically slop from Call of Duty. But yeah, everything from the map layouts, the game modes, and the loadouts, it was a pretty fun experience. And to start off, the maps were really unique and very wide open. It really felt like a ground war style game, and yes, I know that is what Battlefield is, but I've literally never played it except for when they brought Battlefield 1 and made it again, but slightly different. But yeah, at least after that, I pretty much stayed away from the franchise, but what I can say is that it is really fun, whether it be hopping in with a squad of 4 on a team of 30, fighting another team, piloting vehicles like tanks and helicopters and jets. It was so much fun to hop into a new first-person game and kind of just fall in love with the genre again, I think is the best way to put it. But yeah, aside from the maps, the game modes were pretty fun as well. Most of them followed the ground war play style where you had to fight for territory in a lot of different games, which I could really appreciate because I have also been getting into Battlefront 2, the old Star Wars game, and they have a similar game mode to that I really enjoy. But yeah, the loadout system is pretty interesting as they've taken the liberty to have 4 separate classes. Now you can either play as Assault, Engineer, Support, or Recon, and they all feel pretty different with both how they play because of the weapon and equipment you get access to, but also in how they play in a team setting because, for example, if you're piloting a tank, you may have 3 or 4 people running Engineer specifically so that way you can always be healing the tank and essentially never die unless you get, whether you're getting hit by a carpet bomb or a missile or just so much damage that you are not even able to heal it. But yeah, I feel like it really livened things up because, you know, with Call of Duty, it's kind of just, run meta stuff, run meta gun, run meta equipment, have no creative freedom, have nothing other than what everybody else is running. And I feel like this may fall into that same category where people will prefer other roles and classes to other classes. Now, I do hope this game avoids the pitfalls of the player base preferring one class or playstyle over another, and I hope people can stay pretty much spread out amongst all the classes. But the other thing about playing this game is it does feel a little bit different with how the character moves. Now, of course, we don't get the stupid Omni movement in the game, but we get the classic diving, sliding, and apparently you also get a parachute, and you can tuck and roll if you are in free fall. And for that, I give props to Battlefield 6, because my one pet peeve is when a roll is implemented into a game and you don't actually see your character roll with your eyes following the direction of the rotation of your roll. So that was really cool to see, and I'm really glad that they put that little bit of detail, and I'm realizing that I'm glazing EA, and I don't know what world I'm living on right now. But yeah, aside from that, it was a pretty fun beta. I got to play with it with some of my friends, and also a little bit in solo play, and of course, we'll have to wait for the official release of the game, because the last beta just wrapped up the day before I recorded this, and apparently the release date for Battlefield 6 is set in October, so it won't be much of a wait to actually get to that point. It's literally only 2 months away. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be a fun time. It's gonna suck if it doesn't come out on Battle Pass, but that's probably what's gonna happen, because, you know, not every game comes out on the Battle Pass, and Call of Duty just got lucky with Xbox buying off their parent company. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss when it comes to the Battlefield 6 beta. It was really enjoyable, and I had a pretty fun time overall, and this honestly makes me feel like I want to choose Battlefield 6 over Black Ops 7, which is something I never thought I'd say, especially after beating the last Black Ops 6 Zombies map and seeing that cutscene. Also, I just want to add, I think it's absolutely criminal that I talked about Amazing Digital Circus Episode 6, Battlefield 6, and it's on Episode 107. Absolutely criminal. But yeah, again, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss, but at this point, I think it's time for me to send it back to me and my friends as we end this week's episode. I think that's pretty much everything we have to discuss when it comes to K-pop Demon Hunters. I was expecting Gemini to jump in there too, to tag along, but okay. That's pretty been... Whoa. Jesus Christ. Brain just shorted out.
That's pretty Ben.
That's pretty
Ben 10?
That's pretty Ben 10. That's the new series they're gonna make.
We're not
it's gonna capture that audience they need to capture. Anyways, that's been pretty much everything we have to discuss about the K-pop Demon Hunters movie, but we're all tired and I have to go to work. So we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for all of my friends joining me today. Thank you, Blaze.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Menace.
Oh yeah, it was a good time.
Thank you, Subset.
Hey, yo.
And thank you, Gemini.
A pleasure as always.
And before we go, self-plug. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And go check out all the other awesome content CJSW has to offer on their connected networks. And from all of us,
Watch the movie.
Yeah, go watch K-pop Demon Hunters. It's good. Go listen to their music. We didn't even mention. Okay, we didn't even mention K-pop Demon Hunters hit like the top one. They beat out real world K-pop artists in actual metrics in real life.
#1 charts.
Literally.
That happens.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hey, yo.